Good morning, everyone. It's January 7th, 2021. So, by now, all of you have heard that the Capitol building, or Capitol, where Congress and all that meets, was breached and ransacked by right-wingers. We have mainstream media calling these individual traitors, saying that they're anti-democracy, and a bunch of other things. You know, like that sissy boy Don Lemon. Could this be the beginning of a revolution? I doubt it. I mean, we have stood idly by for how long now, and allowed these politicians to run amok, creating laws that are detrimental to a person's ability to survive, to live. And this has been going on for how long? But there is a positive sign, somewhat, from the point of view of freedom. And that sign is that some of these right-wingers are now beginning to see law enforcement for what they are. That is, a bunch of thugs, goons, establishment traitorous, treasonous bastards. Proud Boys, which I think is a completely stupid name. What are they proud of exactly? These individuals have spent the last how many years now sucking the ass of police, practically worshiping them as superheroes or as some virtuous force fighting evil. Right? Isn't that how the right-wingers treat the thin blue line? And they found out the hard way that the police will turn on them. And that, unfortunately, is the only way people will learn the exact nature of their jobs, of law enforcement. It's not necessarily to enforce the law, although that may be part of its function. But really what it's about is keeping the citizen in line, making sure that any rebellion doesn't get too far out of hand, unless, of course, you're Black Lives Matter and Antifa. So, people have to find out the hard way, right? That the police are primarily there to keep you in line. It's a threat, a continuous, ongoing threat. If you do X, Y, or Z, and we find out about it, these thugs are coming after you with guns. And they are thugs. They're no better than the thuggish drug dealer up the road. You can be a drug dealer without being a fucking thug. But you can't be a cop. anymore without being a thug. The ones that try to go in there, the people that try to go in there with the idea that they're there to serve the community, find out very quickly that's not how it is. Recently, a cop was indicted, in fact, for releasing or leaking body cam footage of his partner brutalizing somebody. So, hopefully, 2021 is the year that people learn exactly where they stand and begin to fight back. It could have very well started with the Proud Boys burning the thin blue line flag and walking over it. They went from back the blue to fuck the blue. And that's what they should have been like the whole time. But fear, right? Or brainwashing. And it turned out that all you people out there making these fucking videos swearing Donald Trump was gonna find a way to stay in office, you were wrong. It's okay though. I've been wrong too. So it looks like we're going to have one hell of a year this year. On one hand, they want the leftists want these demonstrators arrested and locked up, even though they were much less violent than Black Lives Matter and Antifa. The mainstream media is calling them traitors and enemies of democracy. This is not a democracy. It's supposed to be a constitutional republic, but what it really is a corporate dictatorship. The government is supposed to work on behalf of the people, but now what we have going on is the government working on behalf of large corporations like Pfizer and Moderna and how many others. They keep on threatening the public. They will continue these lockdowns. That is, if we allow them to. The time has come for the people of the United States to understand that they're essentially being held prisoner in a giant open-air prison. Your freedom of movement is being stifled now. Your freedom to work and pay your bills is being stifled now, which I don't even consider that freedom. But people out there really believe that going to work every day and paying the government's taxes and consuming is freedom. And it's not. More and more people are gonna open their eyes to the very real reality that we are facing, and it's not pretty. The Democrats will try to buy the peace through stimulus checks. They'll try to buy peace that way. But here's the deal. Here's what I think you should do with that stimulus check. I think you should maybe go out and buy weapons and ammunition for those weapons. I think you should buy storable foods of some kind with that money. I think that you shouldn't necessarily spend it in the way they intended. It's the idea behind these checks is, number one, to pacify the people who've lost everything, which I don't see $600 doing that, but nonetheless. Number two, to stimulate spending in the economy. Don't spend it with corporations. You go buy a gun, buy it off somebody. You get around the background check and all that bullshit, and you don't give it to a large corporation. Don't let these people get away any longer with what they do. Every time they pass a law against the people of the United States, there should be riots in Washington, D.C. There should be destruction in every state. They should be paying dearly for their treason against the people. Another good sign is Black Lives Matter and right-wingers, Trump supporters, put aside their differences and rallied in New York City, or New York, for against the mandatory vaccination bill that was introduced. So there can be unity through rebellion. Unity through rebellion. We rebel and unite. Unite and rebel. Until there is no government to speak of left. Until the police stop enforcing these ridiculous laws that are passed. Until they start acting the way they should, and that is defending the weak and innocent. That's the only proper function that these individuals should be pursuing. That's it. It should not be a revenue generating scheme for the state. These individuals should be defending the innocent and the weak in the Constitution if we want to even abide by that. This year, as Biden put it, is going to be dark. A lot of bad things are going to happen. A lot. the mass shootings are going to start back up. They are going to move towards gun grabbing. Of course, you might want to look into how many of these individuals have money in gun companies. But they're going to be moving towards that. They're going to claim that the violence is just too much, when most of the violence is actually a result of their policies. Anyone who claims that the police are there and they're for our protection and are good guys clearly has no idea what they're talking about, and you should disregard anything that these people say because they don't know what they're talking about. There are going to be a lot of choices to be made this year. And these choices are going to be very important. They're going to be really important, and ultimately, if we choose not to rebel, choose not to dish out consequences, their hammer is going to come down on all of us. So, I hope you choose wisely. I hope you choose to disregard the edicts of these wannabe dictators. I hope you choose to fight back when you're assaulted for disregarding these edicts. I hope you choose to live free. And the only way to do this is by killing the state. Getting rid of the bureaucrats. Getting rid of the Facebooks, the Googles, the Snapchats. Getting rid of the politicians. Anyway, I know this is a short video. What can I say? I mean, I could go over headlines, but you already know. Don't you? I can go over the headlines with regard to yesterday, but you already know. You know, all of you, all of my subscribers, knows what needs to be done. So let's do it. And speaking of subscribers, they can always use a second, even a third voice to fill in the days that I don't do videos. I can't do them every day. I have other responsibilities. I try. But it would be really nice if somebody else would get on here with me and make videos. Really nice. Anyway, if you like my content, please do subscribe, thumbs up, share, and there's a PayPal link below. Until next time, kill the state, live free.